In professional tennis, the line between glory and heartbreak is incredibly thin. One season you may stand tall at the pinnacle of the sport, hailed as the next great champion, while the very next you can be cast aside, doubted, and dismissed. For Aryna Sabalenka, the last year represented perhaps the toughest test of her career, a period filled with frustration, missed opportunities, and painful losses that could have broken even the strongest athletes. Yet Sabalenka has never been one to bow down to adversity. Through determination, resilience, and a relentless fighting spirit, she has emerged once more as the player to beat, firmly reclaiming her place as the world's #1 and proving beyond doubt that she belongs at the summit of women's tennis. The weight of expectations. Sabalenka's rise to the top of the women's game was anything but accidental. Known for her powerful ground strokes, booming serve, and aggressive style of play, she was long touted as a future champion. With that reputation, however, came expectations, from the media, from her fans, and most of all, from herself. When you carry the #1 ranking, every loss feels magnified, every slip becomes a headline, and every doubt seems to echo louder than ever. As 2023 unfolded, Sabalenka found herself under immense scrutiny. Every tournament she entered carried the burden of must-win pressure. Critics questioned her mental toughness, analysts dissected her forehand errors, and rivals sensed weakness. It was a cruel reminder that in tennis, staying at the top can be even harder than getting there. A season of struggles. For much of the past year, Sabalenka's results failed to match her talent. She suffered heartbreaking defeats in the later stages of tournaments where she was heavily favored. In Grand Slams, where champions are truly defined, she stumbled when it mattered most. Narrow losses at crucial points left her emotionally drained, and her frustration often showed on the court. In addition to the competitive disappointments, Sabalenka wrestled with personal challenges. Traveling constantly, the stress of expectations, and moments of self-doubt created a storm that threatened to derail her progress. At times, it seemed as though she was playing against herself as much as against her opponents. But champions are not defined by the easy seasons. They are defined by what they do when the game seems to slip out of reach. Finding the turning point. Every great comeback begins with a moment of clarity, and for Sabalenka, that moment came when she decided to reset, both mentally and physically. Reports suggest she spent countless hours in training, refining her serve and strengthening her defensive game. More importantly, she worked on her mindset, focusing on composure under pressure and regaining the confidence that had once made her fearless. Her support system played a crucial role as well. Surrounded by coaches who believed in her and a close circle of friends and family, Sabalenka found the motivation to push through the storm. She began treating every setback not as a failure, but as a stepping stone toward her resurgence. Proving herself again, big wins. The transformation was clear when she stepped back onto the biggest stages of tennis. Her power was still there, but now it was guided by control and patience. In key tournaments, she dismantled rivals who once exploited her inconsistency. Instead of faltering under pressure, she thrived in it. At Grand Slams and premier events, Sabalenka's presence was undeniable. Matches that might once have slipped away in 3 sets now ended with her roaring in triumph. Each victory wasn't just another tick in the win column, it was a statement. A statement to her critics, to her rivals, and to herself. Aryna Sabalenka was back. The signature moment of her resurgence came in matches where she faced adversity head-on, rallying from behind, refusing to surrender, and finding ways to win ugly when perfection wasn't possible. That ability, to fight and adapt, is the mark of a true champion. Why she deserves #1. The #1 ranking in tennis is not awarded lightly. It requires not just skill, but consistency, resilience, and the ability to deliver across all surfaces and conditions. Sabalenka embodies these qualities. Her serve remains one of the most dominant weapons in women's tennis, capable of producing free points under pressure. Her baseline power forces opponents onto the defensive, while her improved movement and shot selection have made her a more complete player. Statistically, she has outperformed many of her rivals over the season, not only in match wins but also in her ability to reach the later rounds of major tournaments consistently. Compared to contemporaries like Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, and Elena Rybakina, Sabalenka's balance of power and experience has allowed her to stand apart. Most importantly, she has shown the mental fortitude that champions require. To fall, to be doubted, and then to rise again takes a special kind of strength. The reaction of the tennis world. Sabalenka's resurgence has sparked excitement across the tennis community. Fans who once worried that her career might stall have rallied behind her, celebrating her victories with passion. Social media has been flooded with highlights of her matches, showcasing not just her tennis, but her raw emotion and intensity on court. Experts, too, have praised her transformation. Commentators have noted how she has turned her vulnerabilities into strengths, using past failures as fuel. Former champions have applauded her perseverance, seeing in her the same qualities that once propelled them to greatness. In many ways, Sabalenka has become more than just a tennis star. She has become a symbol of resilience for anyone facing setbacks in life. Looking ahead, a legacy in the making. While reclaiming the #1 ranking is a massive achievement, Sabalenka knows her journey is far from complete. The next step is solidifying her legacy through Grand Slam titles and sustained dominance. With rivals like Swiatek pushing her to new heights, Coco Gauff emerging as a teenage powerhouse, and Rybakina proving dangerous on any surface, the competition will only get tougher. But Sabalenka thrives on challenges. The same struggles that nearly broke her have now armed her with the strength to push forward. Her eyes are firmly set on adding to her trophy cabinet and ensuring that her time at #1 is remembered not as a brief chapter, but as a defining era.